So what on earth does a satellite launch from way back in 1978 have to do with whether an AI trusts your business today? Well, as it turns out, pretty much everything. Okay, let's dive right in and connect these dots, from the birth of GPS to your future of being seen online. This quote right here, it basically sums up everything we're talking about. It's all about the huge difference between a wild guess and a verifiable, rock-solid truth. And that exact principle is what we're going to unpack today, starting with satellites in space and ending with signals on the internet. To really get this, we've got to wind the clock back. Picture this. It's February 22nd, 1978, Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The scene is set for a total revolution in navigation, but it all hinges on solving one single crucial problem. So the first ever GPS satellite gets launched into orbit. A massive achievement, right? But here's the thing. For finding your way, one satellite was totally useless. Its signal could only tell you that you were somewhere on a gigantic sphere surrounding it. You could be in London, or you could be floating in the Atlantic. Not helpful. Okay, so what about two satellites? Well, that helps a bit. Their signals create these two intersecting spheres, and that narrows your location down to a perfect circle where they meet. It's better, for sure, but you're still just somewhere along a circle with infinite possible points. We're getting warmer, but we're not there yet. Now, with a third satellite, we get really close. The three spheres intersect at just two possible points, and that's a huge leap forward. But think about it. If you're trying to land a plane, being in one of these two spots is not going to cut it. That's the difference between hitting the runway and hitting the airport parking lot. And this, right here, is where the magic happens, the fourth satellite. Its signal can only intersect with one of those two remaining spots, and boom, all the ambiguity is gone. Just like that, you have a precise, verifiable position, your exact latitude, longitude, and even your altitude, down to the meter. That's triangulation, folks. So the big takeaway, the thing the GPS engineers figured out, is this. One signal is just a guess. Real precision, actual verifiable truth, requires confirmation from multiple independent sources. It's not about having one loud signal. It's about getting several signals to all agree on the same story. What's so wild about all this is that GPS didn't just give us the little blue dot on our maps. It actually, kind of secretly, gave us a blueprint, a universal trust architecture. And that blueprint has become more important today than anyone could have possibly imagined, especially now in the age of AI. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Back then, with GPS, the goal was a precise location. The sources were satellite signals, and the method was triangulation. Fast forward to today, and the goal for any business or expert is a verifiable identity that AI can trust. The sources aren't satellites anymore. They're your website, your LinkedIn, your YouTube. But the method? It's the exact same idea, multi-signal verification. So let's bring it right into the here and now. Businesses today are facing the exact same problem with AI that GPS solved for location. You have to prove who you are and what you're about. And just having a single signal from your website? Nope, that's just not enough anymore. This leads us to the big idea for today, multi-signal verification. Let's just define it so we're all on the same page. It's when you strategically put the exact same identity signals, like your bio, your key definitions, your frameworks, across a bunch of different platforms. The whole point is to create a triangulated truth that an AI like ChatGPT or Gemini can look at, verify, and then trust enough to cite. Now, this means we have to make a huge mental shift. AI systems are not discovery engines. They're not out there hunting for new creative things. They are verification engines. They find all the little signals that already exist about you out there, and then they cross-check them against each other to see if your story adds up. So what is an AI actually cross-checking? It's looking for absolute, relentless consistency. It's asking, does the definition on their website match the one in their articles? Does the framework they talk about on their podcast line up with their LinkedIn profile? Is the author's name and expertise presented the exact same way everywhere? It even looks at the code, the schema, to make sure it all aligns. And this is where so many of us get it wrong. We've all been taught to customize our bio for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for our website. To another person, that just looks like smart marketing. But to an AI, it's a critical error. It creates something called identity drift. You accidentally start looking like four completely different people, which makes you impossible to verify, and therefore impossible to trust. Okay, so if tweaking your message for each platform is the problem, then what's the solution? Well, it's a structured approach we call the Triangulation Framework. This is how you intentionally build that cross-platform trust that AI needs to see you as a legit source. And it really just breaks down into 3 simple layers. First, signal deployment. You put the exact same identity signals on your main platforms. No changes, no tweaks. Second, cross-verification. You link those platforms together, you cite them, you show the AI that they're all connected. And the result? That's layer 3, identity stabilization. That's when the AI stops questioning you and starts quoting you. All right, so that's the theory, that's the framework. Now let's make this real. How do you actually go out and build your own constellation of trust signals so an AI can finally get a clear lock on who you are and what you do? The first question is pretty straightforward, right? Where do you even start? Where do you put these consistent signals to create that powerful triangulation effect we've been talking about? Well, just like GPS needs at least 4 satellites for a solid fix, you need what we call a minimum viable constellation of at least 4 platforms. Your website? That's your home base, your primary source of truth. LinkedIn provides that professional verification. A YouTube channel or a podcast proves your expertise in a different medium. And a library of articles gives you depth and authority. Together, these 4 create a really powerful, verifiable identity. So here it is, your 4-step action plan. Step 1, deploy identical signals. I mean the exact same bio, the same definitions, everywhere, no exceptions. 2, cross-link your platforms. Make sure your website links to your YouTube, which links to your LinkedIn, and so on. They should all point to each other. 3, deploy unified schema. Think of this as a secret language for machines that you embed in your website's code. It tells AI, hey, this is the author's official bio, or this is the company's official definition. And finally, step 4, audit for accuracy. Go to ChatGPT and ask it about you or your company. If the answer is fuzzy or inconsistent, you know you've got identity drift that you need to fix. Let's end on this one question. In this new reality, where AI is the gatekeeper of information, you really have to ask yourself, is your brand just a single ambiguous signal lost in all the noise, easy for a machine to get wrong or just ignore? Or is it a verifiable constellation, a clear, consistent point of truth that machines can lock onto, trust, and rely on? The choice is yours.